A good start to a day is very, very important. I repeat, a good start to a day is very, very important. If you are in the positive frame in the morning, then you are likely to have a productive day. So wishing you all a productive day. So in the previous class, we have seen the characteristics of Kingdom Monera, the characteristics of Kingdom Protista, the characteristics of Kingdom Fungi with examples. Today, let us learn about Kingdom Plantae. So we are going to learn and discuss Kingdom Plantae. So plants were there before the animals. Otherwise we can say they have ruled the planet Earth millions of years. After that only few animals have come. After that only we have arrived. So before we existed, the plants were there. As you can see over here, we have some of the important classification of plant kingdom. We will be studying about the important classification of plant kingdom. So let's begin. Hope all of you are waiting excitedly to start the plant kingdom. So let's start. So basically, when we talk about the plant, we think about when we think about a plant, and when we were kids, we used to draw the picture in this way, somewhat in this way. When I was a kid, I used to draw in this way. So, they have different components like flower, stem, leaf, and so on. So when we talk about the plant, we say that they are having a definite shape, they are having a definite size, they don't move from one place to another. In this way, we characterize them. So we will be telling about the features of the plant in this way, isn't it? So here you can see the three distinct components. They are flower, they are stem, they are leaf. So during the classification process, R.H. Whittaker also considered a few processes to understand the classification process. So he said that there should be at least 3 to 4 points for the major classification. So based on that, he had classified the plants. So let's see it in details. So here we are going to see the characteristic features of Kingdom Plantae. So first point, the classification. The R.H. Whittaker has classified based on certain points. So let's see. Differentiation of plant body and distinct components. Differentiation. What do you mean by differentiation? Differentiation means a plant has to be divided into stem, root, leaf. In this way it has to be differentiated. If it is differentiated into plants, how to differentiate the plant? If it is differentiated into flower, stem, root, in this way we differentiate them. If the plants have certain things, okay, we would different. And distinct components, we can say, as I have told you, distinct components of a plant means a plant has a flower, a stem, a leaf. In this way we are classifying them according to its components. So here we have three main components in a plant. What are the three components? So it has a flower, it has a stem, it has a leaf, in this way. So I hope that the first point is clear to you all. The first point is that differentiation of plant body and it will be having a distinct components. So coming to the next point, presence or absence of vascular tissues. So the presence and absence of the vascular tissues. We all know that we have based on the vascular tissues we have xylem and phloem. So phloem is for the conduction of food and xylem for the conduction of water. So vascular tissues in the sense we have xylem and phloem. So xylem mainly for the conduction of water, phloem mainly for the conduction of food. Clear? So what is the function of xylem and phloem? Hope it is clear to you. So here the next point is the presence or absence of vascular tissues. So R.H. Whittaker has classified them under certain conditions. The first point what we have seen was differentiation, how it is being differentiated, whether it is being differentiated into plants, whether it is being differentiated into stem, whether it is being differentiated into root in this way. And the second point is that based on the presence and absence of vascular tissues. We all know that what are the vascular tissues? Xylem and phloem. So what are the functions of xylem and phloem? Xylem is for the conduction of water, while phloem for the conduction of food. Xylem for the conduction of water and phloem for the conduction of food. Hope it is clear. So going to the next point, ability to bear the seeds. Ability to bear the seeds. Whether this plant bears seeds or not. There are some plants that do not bear the seeds. There are certain plants that do bear the seeds. So based on that category, the R.H. Whittaker has classified the plants. Okay, so based on ability to bear the seeds. And the next point, seeds are enclosed within the fruits. Whether the seeds are enclosed within the fruits. So based on that condition. So we have, we can say as an example, we have mango, we have apple. So all the seeds of mango, seeds of apple, all those seeds are inside. It is enclosed inside the fruit. So based on this category, R.H. Whittaker has classified the plants on the basis of certain categories. Hope it is clear to you. Now step by step we will go into the classification process. So once again just we will revise the points at which we have learned here, the characteristic features of the plants. The first point what we have learned was the differentiation, and it is being differentiated into distinct components. That was the first point that which we have discussed. And the second point was that based on the presence and absence of the vascular tissues. Vascular tissues in the sense xylem and phloem. The function of the xylem and phloem, we know it in the primary classes. From the primary classes onwards we are learning the function of xylem and phloem. What are the functions of xylem and phloem? Xylem is for the conduction of water, while phloem is for the conduction of food. And the next point based on what he had classified is that ability to bear the seeds. Some fruits bear seeds, some fruits do not bear the seeds. And the next point, seeds are enclosed within the fruits. So we, as an example, we have learned mango, we have learned apple, all these things, they are enclosed inside the fruit. So we know that mango. Okay, so seeds are enclosed inside. Apple, seeds are enclosed inside. So, and various other points he had classified. So at least there should be, as I have told you, R.H. Whittaker has considered in his mind that at least there should be 3-4 points for the major classification. Hope it is clear. Now let us learn the step-by-step classification process. So classification of process we have in the table form here. So here the first we are going to learn about the plants, how it is being classified. So do not have differentiated body parts. Do not have differentiated body parts. Here have differentiated body parts. So as I have told you in the previous session, that differentiated in the sense whether the plants are being differentiated into roots, stems or leaves, or we can say as flower. Okay, whether it is being differentiated into certain terms. Here based on it is being differentiated. It has been differentiated into root, it has been differentiated into flower, it has been differentiated into stem. In that way, differentiation means differentiated into roots, twigs, leaves, stems, etc. Okay, so here do not have differentiated part bodies. We have here thallophyta. Thallophyta, as you all know, thallus-like structure, but it is here thallophytes will not be differentiated into root, stem and flower portion. Only you can see a heart-like structure of thallus. Okay, so thallophyta comes under do not have differentiated parts. And have differentiated body parts, we have here bryophyta. So differentiated body parts we have here bryophyta. So as I have told you, differentiated in the sense, differentiated into root, differentiated into leaf, differentiated into stem. Hope it is clear. But without vascular tissue and with vascular tissue, based on without vascular tissue and with vascular tissue. What are the vascular tissues? As I have just reminded you about the xylem and phloem. So based on whether the xylem is present, whether the phloem is present. Next, do not produce seeds. They comes under the category of cryptogams. Do not produce the seeds. They comes under the category of cryptogams. Produce the seeds. They comes under the category of phanerogams. So some plants produce seeds, some do not produce. So based on that they have classified. Do not produce seeds means they comes under the category of cryptogams. Do produce the seeds, they comes under the category of phanerogams. And for the cryptogams we have here pteridophytes as an example. Then the next one is bare naked seeds. Bare naked seeds. And here bare covered seeds. Here bare naked seeds, here bare covered seeds. Covered seeds we have here angiosperms and naked seeds we have here example as gymnosperms. And in the angiosperms it is being again divided one cotyledon containing monocots and the two cotyledons that is of dicots. That which is having two cotyledons they are dicot and that which is having one cotyledon of monocot. So hope it is clear to you. So the plants have been classified based on these categories. So here we will be having a proper description. Don't be scared by this table. So we will be learning it in details. Here we have thallophytes as the example. Here we have thallophytes as the example. As you see over here, you can see here thallophytes don't have a proper structure. It does not have a proper design. As you see, we have the examples of Spirogyra. You can see it is a ribbon-like structure. There is no proper design for this particular plant. There is no proper design. We have Eulothrix here, we have Chara here, and we have Cladophora here. So these plants do not have a proper design. We can say it is not being differentiated into leaf part, it is not being differentiated into root, it is not being differentiated into stem. They are merged together and they are helping each other. Okay, they are merged together and they are helping each other. There is no differentiation in thallophyte plants. Coming to the first point, the plants do not have very differentiated body parts. Okay, they will not have very differentiated body parts and they are mostly aquatic. So they are mostly aquatic. That means that they are mostly living in the water. Okay, they are all living in the water. Then the plants are called algae. You might have seen algae in your nearby pond and all the greenish structure that which you see. And also if the rainy season are there in the walls of the houses and also in our compounds or in the compound wall, we can see lots of algae growing there. Okay, you might have seen, you might have observed, but you may not be knowing that it is algae. Okay, then as I have told you, the examples are Spirogyra, Eulothrix, Cladophora and Chara. And one more peculiarity these plants have. Have you seen Chara over here? Chara, this plant is termed as Chara. So if we observe it minutely, we can see that a small modified type of stem portion, the modified leaf portion, the modified little bit of roots we cannot see there. You can see here. And this Chara plant, all this type of plants will be having the reproductive organ, the male reproductive organ as well as the female reproductive organ in the same plant. the male reproductive organ as well as the female reproductive organ you can see in the same plant. And in chara especially, remember this dear ones, very important. In the chara, the female reproductive part we can see in the upper portion and the male reproductive part we can see in the lower portion. So, reproductive organ as I have told in this Thallophyta will be in the same plant. As I have told you, it is merged, it is able to help each other and they are able to prepare their own food and they are helping each other. As I have told you in the chara plant, the reproductive organ or in all this Thallophyta, in all the plants, the reproductive organs will be in the same plant. That means the male gamete as well as the female gamete. And here, especially in the chara, the female reproductive organ is found in the upper portion, while the male reproductive organ is found in the lower portion. And we have cladophora also as an example. So, hope it is clear to you all. So, let's move to the next. Now, let's talk about the bryophytes. So, bryophytes are famously called as amphibians of the plant kingdom. They are famously called as amphibians of the plant kingdom. Why they are called so? It is said that they are the first to come over the land and conquer the land over the water. So they live in the land as well as in the water, just like the frog. That's what it is termed as this plant. Bryophytes are termed as the amphibians of the plant kingdom. As I have told you, just like the frog. Frog we know amphibians. They are living in the water as well as they are living in the land. So bryophytes are the plants that which is conquered land and the water. And here always this question is being asked in the competitive examination as well as our examination also. Why the bryophytes are called the amphibians of the plant kingdom? Otherwise the direct question also may come, why bryophytes are termed as the amphibians of the plant kingdom? Otherwise, which plant is termed as the amphibians of plant kingdom? Direct question also can be come. Okay, which plant is termed as the amphibia of the plant kingdom? They are bryophytes. They are bryophytes. So here, coming to the first point, they are called amphibians of the plant kingdom. As I have told you, just like the frog, they have conquered the land over the water. They live in the land as well as in the water. Plant body is differentiated into stem and leaf-like structures. So the plant body is being differentiated. In the Thallophyta we have seen it is not being differentiated, but here it is being differentiated. You can see here a capsule, you can see here a stem, you can see here a leaf, you can see here the root-like structures. So you can see here the root-like structure. So the second point that which we have here, the plant body is differentiated into root, differentiated into stem, differentiated into plant body. Okay. Then specialized structures for the conduction of food and water. Specialized structure. That means the xylem and phloem are present only in the primitive stage. It is said that xylem and phloem are present only in the primitive stage of this plant. Okay. So here specialized structures for the conduction of food and water. Okay, the transportation of food and xylem and phloem, that means water and food is taking place here, but it is merged. Okay, then here we have certain examples. Moss is one of the example. Funaria, here you can see moss. Mercantia, next example are Mercantia. Then the next one is Rixia. Here you can see in the Rixia, it is not modified. These leaves are not modified. Okay, it is not being modified. You can see a root-like structure, not the roots here. Okay, root-like structure, not the root. No specific roots are being mentioned here. So here, as I have told you, we have the examples moss, we have the example Mercantia, and we have the example Rixia. Here, can you see over here the Mercantia, small cup is present over here. What is it? It is known as gamma cups. Gamma cups. Okay, it is termed as gamma cups. So this gamma cups actually helps for the reproduction. They will be helping for the reproduction. As we have seen earlier, the alternation of the life cycle, the gametophyte stage is followed by the sporophyte stage in the Kingdom Fungi as well as in the Kingdom Plantae. We have learned in the previous session that the alternation of life cycle in the plant, the gametophytic stage is altered with the sporophytic phase. You can see here the gametophyte phase and the sporophyte phase. Two phases are there. Okay, so gametes are released in the water. Since it is called as the amphibians of the plant kingdom, gametes are being released in the water and fusion occurs there, and then the plant is being raised. Okay, so plant is being born, we can say, otherwise plant is being formed. Okay, so the gametes, they will be releasing the gametes into the water. That's what they need, water for the reproduction. These bryophytes need water for the reproduction. Is it clear? Once again, let us revise the points that which we have learned today. So the first thing that which we have learned was regarding the features, the characteristic features of Kingdom Plantae. Then we have seen a table, a complete table of the classification of Kingdom Plantae. Then we have seen Halophyta, its important features and the examples of halophytes. Then we have seen bryophytes and why it is called as the amphibians of the plant kingdom with examples and its characteristic features we have come across. So that's all for today. May God bless all of you, dear ones. The remaining part we will see in the second session, the remaining pteridophytes and the differences between the phanerogams and the cryptogams, pteridophytes, all those things we will see in the next class. So may God bless you, dear ones. Thank you. Thanks a lot.